Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your February reading with Paula B Energy. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Welcome to the channel. All right, this is the general reading for the sign of Virgo. That's sun, moon, and rising signs. So you want to check out the other videos for the other portions of your chart so you can have a more clear, complete picture of how the month is going to play out for you and how those energies are going to work. Remember that this is a general reading, so you'll want to just take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Not everything is going to be for everyone. So that's how it works. All right, Virgo, what we're going to do is we're going to pull a couple of cards for your recent past. That's usually within the last 6 weeks or so. Could also be current energy. Then we're going to pull 2 cards for your current energy. Actually, Spirit pulls these cards because that's my agreement that the card has to flip over or fly out or something like that. Then we are going to have your challenges for the month. And after that, we're going to have some outcomes. Woo! Outcomes everywhere. And also what your message is from Spirit. So five rows of tarot goodness is coming your way. And then, of course, we'll have an oracle card at the end of the reading. So I hope you'll stick around for that. Okay, Virgo, in your recent past, you have the Knight of Cups. So it may have been a little bit of an emotional ride. I'm going to say probably for some of you, there might have been a new love coming in, and it might have been a romantic one. The Knight of Cups is the energy of the emotions. It is water, and it is all about being in love with being in love, right? Just loving life, loving all the things, really feeling that and reveling in it, charging forward towards love. So that might have been the energy that has been in your recent past, or it might be right now. Keep in mind, you can be anywhere within this timeline. However, there's a little bit of burden as well. Feeling burdened. This is the Ten of Wands. Wands are a suit of fire, and it is the energy of taking lots of actions, doing all the things, feeling kind of overworked and overburdened. However, the Ten of Wands is also a card of you're nearing the end of that because it's the 10. And immediately after comes the Ace, so new inspiration. So as you are trudging forward, or maybe you were trudging, maybe you're doing a little bit of trudging in the past, keep in mind that you're coming to the end of that. And you're not always going to be doing that. In that card, he's actually carrying those wands to the city because he's going to sell them. And then he'll have, some nice change in his pocket, and he won't be bent over with all the wands. So, moving into your current energy or what's coming up towards you, you have the Moon, card of Cancer. The Moon is a card of the occult and hidden things, and how everything looks really different by the light of the moon versus the light of the sun. It can speak to the subconscious, and sometimes talks about our subconscious desires, and also because it's a water sign card, it can do with the underlying emotions in the situation. So I'm going to say, Virgo, Spirit is telling me you may have had a lot of emotions being coming up, especially since that's right next to your Knight of Cups. So a lot of emotions happening. You actually are at the end of a major cycle, and you're entering a brand new one. Now, this is exciting because of everything that's happening in the world, but also because, Virgo, this means you're leveling up. This is the level up card. Look at all that's happening in there. We have all 4 of the major energies: earth, air, fire, and water. And in the middle, we have a victorious person. What we see on each side here is a golden laurel wreath. And that was a laurel crown was given when you had a victory. So it's a victory card. You're coming to the end of a growth period for you, and you're starting a new one. And endings are also beginnings. So it sounds like that you've had a lot of going on, maybe a lot underneath the surface, maybe on the outer the outer representation of your life, it didn't look like much had changed. But now you know that inside you've changed a lot. All for the good. You've learned a lot of lessons, and now you're moving forward and you're going to apply those lessons to this brand new cycle that you're moving into. I like it. Okay, Virgo. Now, coming up into what's coming up for you for the month of February, we have the Page of Pentacles. Pages are always messengers, and when we get the Page of Pentacles, often means that a new resource is coming to us. So this could be in the form of actual money, a job, some kind of business opportunity, but a resource is more than just money. It can also be relationships. Maybe you're getting a good message about your health. It could also be that you're experiencing some increased time and energy. All of those things are resources. So keep in mind that that is what is coming towards you, and it's going to be up to you to really grab onto that. You also have the very interesting Hierophant card. The Hierophant is a card that represents not only traditions and traditional values. It talks about celebrations, particularly celebrations that we really create some kind of ritual around, like weddings or graduations, those kinds of things that we have a ceremony for. So it could be that there is a major ceremony coming up for you of some type. It is also the card of learning, knowledge, education. It's possible that you might have decided to go back to school. Perhaps you're finishing school and you're finally graduating. And that's a resource for you, right? So you've got this energy coming in. We'll go a little bit more in depth in our different categories in a little bit, but I like that card for you. Always be learning. Now, your challenge cards for the month. Number 1, you have the 3 of Wands. Fire energy. And what we see is we've got 2 wands behind the person, and he's holding the 3rd wand in his hand. In the card that comes previous to this, these 2 wands are at the crossroads, and he is standing in front of the wands trying to decide. In this card, he's made his decision. So the 3 of Wands is where we actually take the action. Wands are about action. They're about fire, energy, drive, passion. So he is taking action, and in fact, his actions are bearing fruit already. Here is his ships coming in here in the distance, and he is watching them arrive. So you have a challenge coming towards you, and that is to stay focused. You've made some choices. You've taken some action. Now you've got to stay the course. Stay the course. And in order to do that, you're going to need to really gather your mental abilities so that you can utilize them to the full. The 5 of Swords, Swords is air energy, and it has to do with our thinking, our ability to be logical. And what we see is this soldier who apparently the battle is paused or has been won, and he's collecting swords from the battlefield. Notice he's carrying a sword in his hand. He's ready for action. And then he's also got these other swords bundled up underneath his arm. He's collecting those. We don't really know what the reason is that he's collecting them, but he is ready, and he is getting his stuff together, right? He's getting his stuff together. So your challenge is going to be to stay the course and keep it all together. Be logical and strategic. All right. What does Spirit want you to know? Spirit wants you to know that you have to figure out how you're going to shine your light into the world. This is the Hermit card. It is a card that shows a person who is on a narrow path. It looks like there's a snake in the path. There's some dangers there. And he's got a light and he is shining it. This is his inner light. And he's figuring out how he's going to shine that into the world. Now, a hermit doesn't hermit away just because they don't like people. They go away so they can look within, right? This is the card of looking within. So Spirit is saying, it's time for you to look within. You've completed this big cycle. What did you learn? Big cycle ending. the world. Hierophant, what did you learn? And this is, from what you've learned, how are you going to show that to the world? How are you going to put that out? Because the lessons you learn are unique to you, not to anybody else. So you have some unique things happening. And then finally, Spirit says, and you have a divine partnership. This is the Two of Cups. It is the card of partnership. We've got a rainbow coming out of those cups. That's pretty. This can be a new love coming in, or a true soulmate. Primarily, this is your partnership with Spirit, particularly since it's directly underneath the Hermit. So Spirit is saying it's time to connect. Part of what you should have learned in this last cycle was that your connection to Spirit is really, really important, and you need to make that a priority. Okay, so, and I said challenge, and then I didn't do challenge. Your challenge was the Page of Pentacles and the Hierophant. So your challenge is, are you recognizing the new resource that's coming in? Are you utilizing those resources? Are you analyzing what things you have in your life that are resources? Are you learning about them and how to best use them? The Hierophant's the card of learning, right? Okay, so let's cover the bases. We've got love. Definitely love is in the air, I'm going to say, in the month of February. It looks like, Virgo, if you haven't had already, you probably have, if you're looking for love, you have a romantic partner that's coming toward you. Your reading actually begins with the Knight of Cups and ends with the Two of Cups. So that's literally a romantic partner coming in and establishing a relationship with you. Love that. For those of you who are already in an existing relationship, I'm seeing that you've had some, maybe a little bit of struggle with the relationship. You were in love in the beginning, and then things got kind of bogged down a little bit. You've learned some things about each other. You should always be learning new things about your partner, because there's always more to learn. And then you're really developing that really close bond. So I love that for you. This can also talk about, when I talk about love, we're not just talking about romantic relationships. We're also talking about friendships. We're talking about business relationships as well. So, tune that in there as well. Okay, now in the area of health, it looks like some of this has been kind of a burden, and you've been trudging along. Maybe you've been struggling with your health. You have a new resource coming in. So this little page here, he's bringing some new resources. It's going to require you to learn, actually. That Hierophant is pretty clear in that in all these different areas of your life, there's some things that you need to learn and apply. And when I say apply, because you've got the Hierophant, and then you immediately have the Three of Wands and the Five of Swords. So it's, you learn something, you make a decision, you take action. You order it in your head logically, and you figure out how you're going to manifest that. That's the progression of what's happening here. So for those of you who have been struggling with health issues, time to put your thinking cap on and learn a little bit more about it, and learn what works for you. Not everything is going to work for everybody. So that's okay. You just need to give yourself a course of action and stick to it. Okay, and then in the area of wealth, it looks like you've been working and working and working towards wealth. And there's been some underlying conditions that you've had to deal with. That's the Moon card. You've reached the end of a major cycle and you're starting a new one. You're getting some new resources. You may actually have completed a certification or finished college or schooling of some kind. And now you have that, and you're embarking on a new plan. You're not at the end of it by any means. You're still building that. And it might be that you have a new way to build wealth. So I'm going to say that for some of you, this could be a new job. It could be a new position within the company that you work for. As far as entrepreneurs go, you're trying to figure out what it is that really, really floats your boat. That Hermit just jumped out at me the moment I thought entrepreneur. Often an entrepreneur is a solopreneur, at least in the very beginning. So it's possible that some of you have a side hustle that you're wanting to focus on. You're not quite there yet. You've got to do a little bit of strategic thinking, 5 of Swords, and figure out, okay, what's the way that I'm good at doing this, not what everybody else does. And please don't do it the way that everybody else does it. You have your own way that you can do it perfectly, Virgo, and that's what you need to do. All right, looks like overall the month is going to be really good. A little bit of challenges, but overall, you've come a long way, Virgo, and you should pat yourself on the back for that because you deserve a little bit of accolades for that. You've learned a lot, and you're going to learn some more. That's what life is about. We should always be learning. All right, let's pull you an oracle card and see what it has to say. I love to do a little bibliomancy. This is card number 34. We're going to see what jumps out at us. It's called Commit to Happiness. Ooh, I like it. Commit to happiness. True happiness comes from within. When you are facing a crisis, you may look for alternative ways to have more energy or to be soothed. Pay attention to what you do to comfort yourself. Sometimes these activities are counterproductive to achieving happiness. You may be comforted in the moment, but in the long run, you are setting yourself back. Let's see. This is a rainbow-colored goddess. Sheer joy on her face as she moves toward a lush green meadow. She does look really pretty. There are numerous energetic nudges encouraging you, pushing you toward happiness. The rainbow energy flowing from the goddess represents your chakras. Ensure your basic needs are met and your chakras are balanced. When you are working on happiness, try to balance yourself as much as possible. Ooh, well, that's good advice for everybody. That rainbow is really pretty, and there's butterflies in there and all kinds of animals. Gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, Virgo, it looks like that balance is going to be important to you and committing to happiness. I like that. I think often we think that happiness is just like something that happens to us magically. Instead, it's more we got to decide to be happy and then commit to that, which I really like for you. Okay, Virgo, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and I hope that you'll join me next month. And please leave me a comment and let me know how the month went. How did the reading resonate with you or not? I hope that you'll join me next month. So, ding the little bell, thumbs up, like and subscribe, all that jazz. It's YouTube. You know what to do. Okay, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.